the peak of the interest rate hikes, my mortgage related costs took 80% of my net income. I remember thinking then, if I survive this financially, I am going to be unstoppable on the other side of it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tato and I have a few nuggets I would like to share with you. I'm going to jump right into this video. A few days ago, I was watching a video. It's a finance channel where people send their income and expenses and they ask for advice. Say, for example, they want to buy a house, a car, or whatever. And they're saying, here are my expenses. Do you think it's a good move to do this? So this particular video, this lady wanted to buy a house. And the advice that was given, not only by the lady who actually gives the advice, but by the viewers, was she can't afford the house. And I said, contrary to what everybody was saying, unpopular opinion, I think this woman can afford this house if she reshuffles her finances in this way and that way. Fine. I mean, everybody is entitled to their opinion, right? But it's the comment that I got that led me here. So one of the comments that was a response to my comment was, imagine living like a hobo for 15 to 20 years. And I remember thinking, me, am I a hobo? I was like, hobo? Well, that's a new one. And I wouldn't have gone that far, not hobo. But that really sparked something inside of me. And it's what has birthed this conversation and what I hope will be many other conversations going forward. Guys, the social media lifestyle is not real. The social media way of being is not sustainable. And the quicker that people wake up and realize that, the better. Why do I say this? When I gave that advice, I wasn't saying it out of thin air. The advice I gave to this lady, we can talk about that in detail in another video. But I gave this advice because I have experienced it. At the height of the interest rate hikes during the pandemic, my mortgage got up to 80% of my net salary. I'm going to say this again. I got my house in 2022 when interest rates were very low. At the height of the interest rate hikes, my mortgage was 80% of my net salary, meaning that if I earned 10,000 net salary, after my mortgage, my rates and levies, and my home insurance came out, I was left with 2,000. I'm breaking it down in simple terms. This was before I paid for electricity. This was before I bought food. This was before I poured petrol into my car. I was left with only 20%. I remember at the height of all this, saying to myself, if I financially survive this, I am going to be unstoppable. If I financially get through this, because it was such a challenge, I said I'm going to be unstoppable. And that was because I had to make so many sacrifices to get and keep afloat. I had to make so many changes in my life. I had to cut away so many things in order to be able to survive. During that time, what I knew for a fact was that my house was going to stay. I knew that I had so many things that I can go and trim, so much fat I could trim, and trim I did. I trimmed so far that there was no fat left. If the trimming could have come to my body, I would have been the skinniest person in the room. But guess what, guys? I survived. And interest rates started going down and the pressure started to reduce. I'm sharing all this to say that people need to know that sacrifices have to be made in life for the important things. The particular lady who was asking for advice was, I think she said 42 years old, or was it 44 years? And when I was given the advice, I was looking at the fact that in best case scenarios, she has around 20 or so years of work. That's best case scenario. She has 20 years of work, right? And right now is the best time to make that decision to buy the house, because a mortgage is, I would want her to take a 20-year mortgage and not a 30-year mortgage. And now they're talking about 50-year-old mortgages. But I always advise people to be comfortable at the 20-year mortgage, because 30 and above at our age is crazy. Fine. Another thing is that in realistic terms, retirement is no longer about age. We look at things and we say, I have 25 years to go. For example, I'm turning 40 this year, and I could sit and say, I have 20 years, at best 25 years until retirement. But in actual fact, we no longer have 25 years when you're 40 years. Guys, I have started looking at my life and saying, I have at best 5 years before I am artificially retired. What do I mean by that? In this day and age of AI, we are going to be retired by virtue of our jobs not being needed anymore. Artificial intelligence is going to retire us, not because of age, but because our expertise is no longer needed in the market. So if we continue to have people living in this mindset of not sacrificing in this day and age, then truly we are doomed. If we are going to look at someone and say it's okay for them to have a line budget for their nails monthly, in monthly expenses, a line budget for their hair, a line budget for Uber Eats, a line budget for entertainment, a line budget for all these luxurious things. And those things are luxury, even though nowadays they are called needs. But on the flip side, we think they shouldn't sacrifice to get a house. But these people have kids. What then happens when the salary goes? What happens in best case scenarios? You get to 60, you're living in an apartment or you're renting a house, and the salary goes. Is your retirement going to be enough to continue to pay your rent until death? Because you have to factor that in. A lot of the times we're giving our kids all these luxurious things, and those things are non-negotiable when it comes to our line expenses. We say, no, my child goes to this school, my child has swimming, my child has all these things that they cannot cut in order to be able to get a house. Okay. The very same kids that right now you are not sacrificing those things for. 20 years from now, they could have an asset that you guys live in, that when things are tough, at least you have a roof over your head. Or on the flip side, they could have had all those things and not have a roof over their head. I truly do understand, and you know what I want people to understand is that this is not about a house. This video is about the fact that nowadays we just want things to be quick. We want to get things easily. The age of social media has made things like beauty and 10-step routines, morning routines and night routines, facial, whatever, beauty stuff. We have made these things such the norm that when I come and say, oh, I don't do my hair, I don't do my nails, then you're called a hobo. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, guys. It is crazy. And this is the mindset that people actually really have. I just want to end this video by saying it is possible to live a non-lavished life and have a rich life. It's possible to not live the life of social media and have a beautiful home. It's possible to not be keeping up with the Jones and have more than the Jones. It's possible, because you have to pick and choose what's important. And you need to realize that what's important now is not going to be important for the future. So at some point, the decision you make now has to take into account your future. It has to take into account the economic climate, the political climate, what is happening in the world. Like I said, I am not looking at my life and saying that I have, because I'm turning 40 this year, I have 20 to 25 years until retirement. I am looking at my life and saying, I have assessed where I am in my professional career. And I think AI-wise, I have 5 years to sort my life out. I have 5 years to be able to figure things out, because then I will probably be on the chopping block, if not sooner. So if I am looking at that worst case scenario and I am making sacrifices now with that projection, imagine if in 5 years I still have my job, but I have implemented all the things that I've said. Imagine if 5 years I am still marketable and I'm still able to have a salary, but I have lived that 5 years, haven't taken the worst case scenario in mind. Guys, I don't think I live like a hobo. I think I eat pretty good food. I have a decently beautiful house. Well, I love my house, but it's not the social media life. But I have had to sacrifice so much to be able to have it. I can go into detail as to all the things I've had to sacrifice to have the life I have. There's multiple videos I can release on that. So you guys, let me know if you would like to get an insight as to some of the things I changed, not only in my life, but with my perspective in life, in terms of friendships, in terms of family, how I restructured things, the things I gave up. Me sharing those things is not me saying that you should. It's just giving you an insight as to what's possible and what you can sacrifice in order to attain your dreams. I wanted this house. God knew I wanted this house. And as much as God helped and facilitated me getting it, I also had to show up. I also had to do my part, because God meets you where you are at. So I just wanted to share this little nugget. Let me know if you guys would like to know a bit more as to how I survived and still have my house when I was paying 80% of my net salary towards it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let's converse in the comment section. I'm not saying that my way of living is the only way of living. I'm just saying that things that are worthy in life require some form of sacrifice. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? Let's talk about it.